world, and say why music. Hello world, and say why music, and you can roll with it or refuse it. I say hey, way to the world, this is my day. Something like BK, have it my way. This is my time, I'ma shine so much.
Shine.
We're here.
He is very obviously AY Young.
And this be the one them called Timo Peach, guys.
And this is the Global Goals Music Roadshow. Welcome.
Notice I masked up today.
You are very masked up. That's good. And it's branded as well, which is good. It's a little merch flash.
Battery tour. guys, and this is the Global Goals
Music Roadshow.
Yes, and this, guys, this show is designed to empower you to change your world with us and shape a healthier future for the planet. Our mission is to turn the people of the world, which are like humans, companies, corporations, charities, everything, right? Turn the world, which I call outlets, and bring them into this battery to power change, charge using the universal language of music.
Yes, indeed. Now, he's in the US, I'm in the UK, and we're both musicians and creatives passionate about enabling change and encouraging you to feel like you can take part because you are part of the story and it's yours as well. We found our passion, our confidence, our whatever this is, through practicing music.
So many people worldwide.
And this is some of his music.
Oh, snaps. I'm supposed to show some of my music. Well, I hope you guys like this one.
Supervision. He doesn't shake my hand. He doesn't beg me for anything, so I get nothing. Thank you.
You got me thinking.
You got me thinking. You got me thinking. Needed y'all like sprouting, but I bomb. I can put the city on the map, but you put me in the back of the bus. But them wheels on the bus turn round and round. Now I'm off the ground with enough buzz to attract the bees. Funny, I can make a lot of money for you, but you looking dummy like when people ask me for my lunch money. Pause, hey, I'm fine. I noticed that I'm ahead of my time. When I figured that I don't need to get signed.
And here's some of his music.
Come and rescue me. I am the lost at sea. Send a boat for me, seeking asylum and full immunity, seeking identity with you faithfully.
Dude, oh my gosh, wait. I'm so excited for this. First of all, you're stunning. Guys, please just thumb up in the comment box. Doesn't he look fantastic? Also, shout out to Miss Fogel. Yo, Katie, Luke, Drew. Yo, Aloysius, what's up? Hi. Outlet Kids, man. They're plugged
Outlet Kids, welcome to the show. Well, look, now you can see we're passionate about what we do. And now we want to help you plug your passion into changing the freaking world. Why not? Because we think passion is where change starts. So we're asking, what is your passion?
Passion. Yeah, I mean, we believe everyone is an outlet for change. That's like you, me, all the big corporations, all of us, right? It doesn't matter how big, doesn't matter how small. We're all on this mission to get everyone plugged in, right? So, hey, guys, students out there, people watching, athletes, artists, companies, the battery tour is an outlet for you to plug into and connect to your passion, no matter who you are. So let's do two things, because being an outlet means you do two things, right? Timo, one, power the tour, support this change, and then two, take an action. Like do one thing differently because you can.
Because you can. What is this, man? What do
It's
we
the
call
People
this?
Show for changing the world.
Yes, it is the People Show for Changing the World. Now, if you don't know, AY is the UN's Young Leaders of the UN, the only one in the US, one of only 17 young leaders around the world. And he's been coming to prominence with his remarkable battery tour. And we help promote that and the project attached to it, which is the album Coming 17. Am I right?
Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know, we might be doing some kind of really cool album project with, you know, the slide's supposed to, you know, show up. Oh, yeah, right there, you know.
Yeah,
But,
there
you
it is.
know,
But
eventually, you know, it's going to happen. You know, we'll get into that, you know, really soon.
We're going to get into that really soon. And
but before we get into this epic, life legendary album, though, right? I mean, we bring guests on, bro. You know,
we do. But also, essentially, my
just-
role here is to butler for Mr. Young. So would you like a little start the show with a little bit of magic here?
Yes, I gotta get powered up. Oh, look at that!
There you are, sir. So, shall we show our guests in, Mr. Young?
Yeah, I mean, shoot. Hey, this is the Global Goals Music Roadshow. Please leave your comments. This is so awesome. I can't wait to get you guys plugged in today. Every week we bring these guests to join us to share how they're facing the possibilities in climate change and social inequality, wherever they're at in the world. And really, we like to talk about using the global goals as a framework for thinking on how we can change the world. So let's see who we've got today.
Shall we find out where?
Global goals guests from the east to the west. I said, can you guess where the global goals guests are from this week? Because they could be basically from anywhere.
I mean, yeah, dude, like pretty much anywhere.
Carla!
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's lovely to have you. Where in the world are you, Carla?
I am in lovely Costa Rica right now.
Wow.
Yes.
Lots to talk about there. Costa Rica is like a bit of a pin-up nation for sustainability. Is that right?
Yes, very true. Yes. We do. I would say that it's quite known for like running on sustainable energy. It also doesn't have an army, which is always something people like to mention. It's around 25% of the country is actually protected territories. So yeah, lots going on.
And I think my godson has just gone to Costa Rica, which I need to find out about. I need to get him on the show, probably, find out what he's doing. So yeah, lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Carla, like, tell us about what you do. Like, this is a really awesome girl. I know you a little bit, and that you're doing some really cool stuff in the realm of sustainability. Tell me about like your project and like how are you trying to change the world?
Okay, sure. So last year during the pandemic, I got a little bit, I don't want to say fed up, but I was a bit tired of just reading the news, and it was just so negative. And everyone I spoke to they were all saying it's all so terrible, and the world is kind of a horrible place, and everything's wrong. And some people were like, I'm just going off the news, like news detox. And I thought, well, I should do the same, but I also don't like to be, completely unaware of what's going on. So I started to think, well, I'm sure there's still good things going on, even though there's a pandemic and there's so much going on. So I started to look into it and just researching a little bit, and I started to see that in fact there's this very interesting thing called solutions journalism, where it's journalism that just takes a different focus, and basically it's looking at reporting and giving a voice to stories about people, organizations that are actually out there solving problems. And amazing. I really like this focus of how people are solving problems, because we all know there are plenty of problems out there, but there's also a lot going on in terms of
Yes.
how to solve them. So that's how I got interested in this. And so I spoke to a friend of mine, Maria Fernanda, and we were like, let's just start this project, and we'll just start to capture different articles about this, like problems being solved either by people, organizations, or companies, and just start to share that. And so that's kind of how Pop News Info came about last year.
And that's what it's called, Pop News Info.
Yes, exactly.
Very
And
cool.
Pop stands for Power of Positivity.
Oh, wow.
That sounds bang on brand for this show, doesn't it?
So basically, like Carla, and by the way, if you guys are here at the Global Goals Music Roadshow, please comment if you have thoughts. This is Carla from Costa Rica. She is a change maker. So like you were looking at all the problems in the world that we've seen and all this stuff going on probably with the virus. And so that just motivated you to make this difference. And so you put together this Pop News Info, right? Like, and one more time, like so it's like a news source, so like a magazine, right?
Yeah, so right now what we started, because our background, my colleague and I, Maria Fernanda and I, we're not journalists yet. So our background, what we're doing right now is like collating the news. So we just look at so many different media across the world, and try to like select the ones that are really interesting and talking about solving problems in one way or another. And so we are just kind of bringing these together. But our aim is to eventually create as well our own content. So
Yeah, that's
baby
amazing. And what do you
Yeah.
feel when you're trawling through different news, trying to find an angle, trying to find a story out of the different things you select? How do you feel looking at those news stories when you research? Are you feeling positive? Are you feeling daunted? Different every day?
So when I'm looking at traditional media, you see like, I don't know, 9 out of 10 are really depressing things that are going wrong in the world. But when I do find that one article that's actually saying, well, this is going well, and this is working in this part, or these people are trying to do this about it, I get so inspired, because I think, wow, I mean, I would have never thought, people in this village of Kenya are doing this amazing project, but look at that, they're doing it. And why couldn't that be replicated somewhere, maybe even in Costa Rica as well, or it could be done in, who knows, New York. So because there's a lot of things that I feel could actually inspire people in other places. So when I personally do it, it's changed my outlook so much that I actually feel inspired, and I'm like, there's a lot wrong in the world, but there's a lot of people who are putting their effort to make it right. So
yeah, exactly.
Go ahead, Timo. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, yes, that's exactly why we do the Global Goals Music Roadshow. We just love piecing together all these different stories of people just getting on and living it. And when you see a different story happening out there, it changes the story you think you're in, which in my opinion is what we have to do as a generation. We think we're in one story of consumption and damage and abuse, and actually we're in a much richer story than that, and we can be in one that changes the way we see and do everything. I do believe it. That's why we do this. So
yeah,
you're
totally
perfect for this.
I mean, I totally agree. And I mean, looking at this comment here from Cassie Fogel, one of our outlet teachers, she's saying, this is so neat. Like, Carla, you founded this Pop News and you live in Costa Rica, like making an impact. I mean, that's so amazing. Here, let's take a second. Let's visit, because I want to get into what your favorite goals are. But I think let's look at a little update.
Hey, Cassie Fogel here. I have been in education for 13 years. Like many teachers, I am always trying to find new ways to engage and motivate students. I am charged up about AY Young's Battery Tour Global Goals Project. AY Young and the Battery Tour is a perfect way to engage students to use their passions and interests to discover opportunities to change the world. It is time we educate our students on the global goals and empower them to take charge in making a difference. Join AY Young and the Battery Tour and be an outlet teacher.
Oh my gosh,
Man.
she's appeared. Oh, what
Miss Fogel's here. Welcome to the
I'm
show,
here.
Miss Fogel.
Hi,
the
class.
legend, the myth.
Yeah, they don't know that Kale and Luke and everyone watching Aloysius and the rest of the class doesn't know that I'm appearing on the show today. So, surprise! Yeah, very cool. So,
I mean, so Fogel, Miss Fogel, you hear what we're talking about, and it'd be cool to have you a few minutes. Shout out to Julia. She's making some cool comments. What's up, girl? You know, yeah, Carla's spreading love and positivity. So, like, yeah, we're just talking about, like, I don't know, Timo, take the lead, like, kind of bring her up to speed with, like, what we were just talking about.
I mean, first of all, I do think, Miss Fogel, you could probably legitimately start branding that broom cupboard with, just make it a new Global Goals Music Roadshow radio booth with the branding. Get some of your team in there.
listen, my middle school students don't love that video. They think I sound like a sales carsman and carswoman. And so when you played that, Carla, I was so embarrassed. I'm sorry you had to see that, but I was solid. I'm like, I'm so passionate about it. And Carla, it's so nice to meet you. Oh my gosh.
I'm being the tube guy. I'm being the tube guy outside a car shop.
Carla, this is our outlet teacher. We're rolling out the global goals, project here. This project 17 that I'm doing. That's the album, the tour, and helping people take an action and be an outlet for change. We are rolling it out in schools, and of course, Carla.
Yes.
Carla's amazing, right? But guys, what about the topic on the goals? Okay, so it's kind of cool because Carla is from Costa Rica, and you talked about Kenya, Carla, and people can make an impact anywhere, and I'm seeing that in the classroom, right? Let's talk about the possibility that literally no matter where you're at, right, you could make an impact anywhere, right?
Yeah, AY, and also doesn't matter where you are, but what we're learning is that it doesn't matter how old you are too, and so that's pretty cool. And so Carla, when you were in school, did you know about any of these kind of issues that were going on, when you were growing up, or what age were you when you kind of realized that things needed to start changing?
I think that growing up in Costa Rica, we are from a very, very young age. We are kind of educated to love and respect nature. We do a lot of camping. We do a lot of outdoor stuff, and we do, I think, appreciate the nature that we have in the country. So I think from a young age, in general, I think people really respect the environment a lot. But it doesn't mean that we don't have a ton of problems. You'll see, rubbish everywhere and that sort of thing. But I think there is a good conscience of we need to take care of our forests and the ocean and all that. So I think it was from a young age, but it was a bit circumstantial because it's also a very thirsty country where a lot of it is ecotourism and people come to see peace. So I think that helps, at least that people in general have this awareness. It should be sustainable and it should be a respectful relationship between people and the environment.
Yeah.
Nice.
How do you think that's growing in Costa Rica? Are more people around you talking about it?
Well, I have to say that right now I'm just visiting Costa Rica. I'm actually based in the UK. So, yes. But I think so. I think people are, I small changes like plastic bags in the supermarket that are being replaced. People are using their own bags, or they're using biodegradable ones and so on. I see a lot of people who are not using straws anymore. Recycling is still not super widespread, I think. There's still some issues that really do need it needs to be developed more. But I think there is some improvement.
That's awesome. And hold that thought. Cassie! Someone says hi, Miss Fogel. Okay.
Well, and actually, if you don't mind me sharing, I'm so excited, Carla, to be here. But actually, Kale and his group of friends, if they're watching, Luke, Aloysius, and Drew, you guys have inspired them to create a podcast over the global goals. And Carla,
amazing.
So Carla, you were talking about they're going to focus on researching current events that are happening right now. Like you were talking about what's going on, and they still need help with recycling and things like that. And so for their project, because our outlet education rollout is all about our students taking their passions, right? Taking their passions, their interests, and making the world a better place, like AY does with music and the Battery Tour. And so I'm so glad you shared that with them, because that could be something that they start researching. And I think that's with our students, is learning what's going on around the world, right? And doing the research and educating others. And so Kale and everybody out there watching, pressure's on. They're ready to.
Oh, that's so dope. Timo!
Yeah.
Timo!
Yeah. I know. I know.
Roll the question.
The question is,
What goal are you most plugged into? Seriously, we need to know what goal you like.
Carla?
I would say from our Project Pop News perspective, we're trying to cover news across all of the goals. We have things in education, well-being, social business, cities, so quite a wide spread. Which one is my favorite? Like personally, I would probably say poverty. That's the one I would be most passionate and interested in.
Right, that's your way in, is it, essentially? Because that's what we mean by what's your favorite goal. It's not like a t-shirt, but it's about how you plug your passion in, what subject. So for you, it's all roads lead to dealing with poverty.
So I think poverty is like the basis. Like, what if you're able to tackle poverty? It requires so many like interacting factors at the same time. It require education, well-being, infrastructure, and all that. So it's kind of the one where I feel it kind of all comes together. Yeah. But from our project's point of view, we do try to kind of highlight progress and like through stories in all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
I was going to say, AY, well, talking to our correspondent there, now, AY, let's talk a bit about your project, because how this pulls together, what your response was. You are the UN Young Leader. What is that even like? And how is that coming out as creative for you?
I mean, shoot, man. I mean, being the young leader is crazy. I mean, I think it's all about inspiring, though. Now, today, Cassie, you got me thinking about like being this like leader, I guess, for the sustainable goals. What is that for me? It's just been a balancing act of how can I inspire people to take action, you know? So like, I think it's super cool that Kale, right, is doing this podcast now. And if you guys are listening, this is the Global Goals Music Roadshow. So please comment. Hopefully we're inspiring you to take a look at these goals, take your passion, and then take an action. And so, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm here, Timo. I feel, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Totally don't know what we're supposed to do within the schedule of our show right now.
I'm just asking you about what you do. You're doing this, definitely.
Totally. Can I hop in and tell the project to the people that might not know who are listening?
Yeah, tell them about the Battery Tour and the project, man.
Yeah, really quick. I mean, guys, what I'm doing. Oh, Carla, do you have any idea what I'm doing? Have I told you what I'm doing yet? No?
A little bit.
Knows. She has 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, really quick, I call it Project 17, and you guys just saw the cover for like track 1 or like phase 1, which is the album. But Project 17, everyone's an outlet, right? We ask everyone to take action, empower the tour. That's what the circle is all the different outlets plugged in to. We want everyone to do these two things. And then so this year I'm making an album, a sustainable album. 17 songs, 1 song for each goal. And then next year, I'm going to do a tour. Now, the cool thing about this album is it's going to be in collaboration with the biggest artists in the world, right? Plugged into the
Yes,
goal
it
that
is.
they are, right, passionate about. So like using music as a vehicle to get the world plugged in is what I'm here for, you know?
It's slightly your thing, isn't it? And one of the great outlets for this, for becoming outlets of change, is our outlet classrooms with Miss Fogel herself and many others. So I think it's time probably had.
Hey y'all, I'm Amy Hillman. I've been an educator for.
Well, that was the
That
wrong
was so
one.
cool. That's our
We'll
other
come back
outlet
to
teacher.
Amy. We'll come back to Amy in a sec.
Oh, this is your section.
That's awesome.
Teachable moment. Just an update on what you're doing. What does it mean to be an outlet teacher? And what do you get youngsters doing in the classroom to learn about sustainability?
You know, it's so great. I could talk to you guys for hours, but I'm going to try to make it in a minute or two. We are sharing about.
You can leave after this.
Yeah, we're sharing about AY and the battery tour and giving our students a motivation and excitement. There they are. There's a couple of them right there. They're using their passion of textiles, but really this one of the students' friends just went into foster care, and she just had a kind of like you, Carla, like an aha moment, right? Of like something needs to change. Well, she went and her friend wouldn't get to take any books with her and was really upset about it. And was like, why don't foster children get the same education or the same resources that other kids get? And then again, we always have the poster up in our room, and they were like, we really want to do this. We really want to focus on this goal. And I'm like, go for it. And so they got T-shirts donated, made bags, got books donated, and then gave them to a local foster community. And so then the kids have a bag of books to kind of take with them wherever they go to help with that specific goal locally. I think sometimes when you hear global goals, you have to think globally, but in the end of the day, it could be something that's in your backyard, right? So it doesn't have to be such a huge project, which can be really daunting to kids, but things that they are passionate about, researching current topics. We have another student who really loves the Rubik's Cubes and realized that not everyone can use a Rubik's Cube because they have colors on them, and not everyone can see. There's some that are visually impaired. So he 3D printed tiles and put them on a Rubik's Cube and gave them to our school's department for visually impaired students. So it's all about getting our kids motivated and inspired through AY, through the battery tour, and then really focusing on the global goals and letting them, like Carla, your creativity and innovativeness, like letting them go with that, right? Like, and allowing them, not putting them in a box. So I encourage everyone out there. Now the battery tour website has an education site, which I'm so excited about. And on that education page, you can actually look at a pledge and then pledge to be an outlet. And then by doing that, sign up, and then you'll be able to gain a lot of resources. We just are about to launch our lyric contest. We actually had a couple kids kind of see the poster over my shoulder and started already, but that's okay.
Wow.
And one of them is working on lyrics on racism. And they are so inspiring. They actually put me into tears yesterday, but it is something that he's very passionate about. And so like just allowing our students to use their creativity, to use their passion to make the world a better place.
Oh my God. Thanks so much. Wave bye to Miss Cassie. We love you. Battery
Bye-bye, Miss
Yo, what's up to all my teachers? Don't forget to show what your students are doing for the Battery Tour Global Goals Project. Hashtag outlet classroom or outlet teachers to stay plugged in all over the world.
That's not even relevant.
Well, that guy's a real piece of work. He's going to be on the show soon.
He's
Carla, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Really nice to hear these stories.
Speaking of stories.
Yes.
Should we give her the story of how this even started?
Let's get into the story of how this even started. Should we roll the tape?
A local hip-hop artist makes an international name for himself. He is the first artist to power his concert with 100% renewable energy.
It is a real honor to recognize Mr. A.Y. Young, the founder of Battery Tour.
It's incredible. Can't wait for you to see this. The United Nations is now throwing its support behind him.
Mr. Young has made a big impact in his young life, born in 1991. He's a singer-songwriter, a dancer, producer, entrepreneur, and sustainability advocate. He's staged and performed more than 800 concerts. He was named by the United Nations recently as one of 17 youth world leaders of the world, the only individual selected for that honor from the United States.
I'm looking forward to stimulating this local economy further, bringing entrepreneurs together, bringing businesses together, bringing the world together so we can make some change. I'm AY with the battery tour, and we're here in Honduras. It's beautiful. We're going to bring power, solar energy, medical supplies, reading glasses, all those things to the people of Honduras. Hey, mama. If it's true.
The Global Girls Music Roadshow International News Bulletin, brought to you by top correspondent Timo McNewsface. Hello and welcome to the International News Bulletin of the Global Girls Music Roadshow with me, Timo McNewsface. The coronavirus pandemic is accelerating global business thinking towards sustainability. So finds a new global survey commissioned by banking giant ING. The survey consists of 450 corporate respondents, and it examined attitudes towards long-term sustainability and ESG, environmental social governance. As reported by ED, the survey, Rethinking Sustainability in the Post-Pandemic Landscape, found that COVID-19 was acting as a white swan that had accelerated how committed corporates were to the green agenda. Well, I'm joined to comment on this now by the local decider. Hello, Mr. Decider. Hello, welcome to the Global Girls Music Roadshow.
Hi, how you doing? I'm doing a little office work. It's been a little doozy here with the weather, but I gotta tell you, I'm doing all right. I'm making decisions.
Yes, obviously making decisions. What is your take on What is your take on this? The idea that more and more businesses are using the coronavirus to get a lot more sustainable.
Sustainable? Who cares about that? How that virus thing? It's kind of in the way of my business. I get the local acts together and I book them. I'm the decider. I decide what's relevant. But sustainability is not even relevant. Who cares about recycle this and recycle that?
Well, I would say that more and more businesses are thinking that sustainability is indeed relevant. According to this, some 57% of the companies surveyed confirmed plans to accelerate new sustainability, while 62% were planning on linking executive pay to sustainability goals. So clearly it's relevant to a lot more companies than it was. What do you think of that?
62% my butt. I still run half the city, and the old way of doing it is what's relevant. They're not even relevant. Oh, I said that. Next question.
And what do you think about investment? On another note, business-wise, this survey also found that 74% of investors surveyed have decided to increase their commitments to align portfolios with the Paris Agreement. And 72% of those were placing more focus on ESG.
Here you go again with this Paris Agreement. I'm running out of time. This and this. Save the planet. This is what I don't even like the AY guy. Who sings songs about saving the planet? Just make some money, play your role, do the music, make it happen. What is a solar battery? Who even knows what energy is?
We seem to have, well, that's a shame. We seem to have lost our correspondent there out in the field. But thank you for your time. This has been the Global Girls Music Roadshow International News Bulletin with me, Timo McNewsface. The Global Girls Music Roadshow International News Bulletin, brought to you by top correspondent
Timo McNewsface.
That's not even relevant.
Well, there we are. I mean, it's good to get a hot take on the issues of the day, isn't it?
It's that guy's crazy, bro. I had to wear the signature glasses for a second. What's up, Carla? How you doing?
I'm still recovering from what I just saw.
Yes. I think we all are in some way. So Carla, what do you think about the idea of people? You know, who do you think are the deciders of how we hear stories or not? What would you like to see change about who, you know, the stories we get to see? How can that change?
No, that's a great question. I think that unfortunately we kind of do have a bias where we like the dramatic and we like the we do have a an attraction towards negative things. I don't know exactly why. And I think that's why these type of stories sell so much. But what I would just like to see more of a balance, because I mean, there are a lot of things that need to be reported on, corruption and violence and all these things. It's necessary to report on them, and it's all happening, so it's real stuff. But we also do, I think, we need a balance where we show that's not the full picture. It's not the whole story. Like in our profile in Pop News, like we're sharing really like cool stories that honestly you don't really see that much. You don't hear people talking about it that much. So, you know, some kids in Brazil who are doing instruments from recycled material, or we've shared things about recently, some related to teachers. We had like an article about highlighting 10 teachers who are doing the impossible and being super creative of how they can continue to educate their students even through the lockdown, and some don't have great connectivity, and how they're solving those problems in their reality. So these are like really amazing stories, and I would just like to see more of those in mainstream media, not just like the very specific outlets, but like just have a little bit more, and for people to see the value in these stories. So not just fluffy feel-good stories, it's actually, you know, problem solvers, and I think that deserves more attention as well.
And you got out and did something about it. You set up a platform to do exactly that.
Well, we're trying to do it. I was telling AY as well that sometimes I do get the feeling of like, well, no one cares about this project. No one likes it. Why am I doing it? I should just quit. And then and he reminded me, he's like, no, don't quit. You need to persevere. And I was like, no, you're right. And if you're really passionate about something and you really believe in the reason why you're doing it, you just need to go on. Doesn't matter so much the days you feel like, well, you know, I'm just tired, or this isn't really making an impact. But it may be doing an impact, just at this moment it's a small one, or you don't see it, but you just need to keep on going.
And like to jump in, Carla, like to me, what I hear from you is like you're talking about like we need to share more as a country, as a world, you know, right, Timo, like in some of the individual impact stories, and you're finding these really cool stories from individuals like you and me who are making an impact. And I'm reading this comment from Julia Cuno. Again, this is the Global Goals Music Roadshow. Guys, comment. But she talks about the local decider is a real issue, right? Like people really stunt society's progress by being stuck in the old way of doing things. And I really like what she says here about things have to change. And sometimes that means changing even who's in power, right? And when you're talking about media, you know, having power sometimes is being backed by money, which you're not backed by money. You're not like co-signed by some big media outlet. And you've even thought of giving up. So like, but you haven't. And I think another reason why I wanted to have you on the show, right? I wanted you and anyone listening to like really understand that, like you can make a change. We can make a difference. And even if someone doesn't see your work or it doesn't feel like someone's watching, doesn't mean you're not making an impact.
Yeah, and I think there's a thing about like chicken or egg in media. Like, is it the media feeding us the stories that they think we want, and that's why we have it, or is it actually they see what people are reading and reacting to? And sometimes people do like to see the gossip, the celebrity gossip, or the terrible things that are, you know, the horrible accident that happened and so on. So I think there's
or people like the local decider who's just a freaking terrible guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of both sides that needs to change, like what we are given, but also what we are demanding as readers, because in the end, we are the ones who are reading, and we are the ones who, like, should be deciding as well. And if there's more demand for that type of stories that we want to hear, I think that all the media will respond to that.
It's I mean, it's sort of self-fulfilling, isn't it? And there's an interesting psychology I've been learning over recent years to the fact that humans think in stories. That's how we make sense of all the complexity. We write a story and stick to it. And so many of our traumas are about our expectations against those usually overly simple stories. We don't like changing them. And so the more you put out and reflect, hey, this is happening as well, and this is happening, that the story's bigger than just the cynicism or the trivial. We want a bit of trivial, and we all want to rubberneck a little bit. That's human. But there's way more that we need. I think that's what we're facing, isn't it? We need the healthy stuff as well. And we're craving it, aren't we?
Yeah. And I think this whole changing our attitude that, yes, there's a ton of problems, but hey, anyone can be a problem solver. And like, why not inspire people to look at problems not as a problem, but as a challenge, like, that maybe they can do something about. So I think that's an important thing that we should also be encouraging everyone, not only students, but like everyone. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree. And there's storytelling is something that's really becoming an issue in business. Businesses are just beginning to think, oh yeah, we need to tell stories better, don't we? I do a podcast called Unsee the Future. I have done. It's a research cast.
Unsee the Future.
I only bring it up because this was how I got into the global goals, which was actually prompted through music. I was doing a music project, and it got me researching, and I discovered the goals. I'd never heard of them. And what came out of the research for me, as nobody, as just an artist, is the fact that this is all about the story we think we're in. And the job of change makers is to change the story more and more of us think we're in, one that's hopeless, one that's destructive, or one that has no consequences. It's our job to keep going, look, this is happening in Kansas, and look, this is happening in Costa Rica, and that's happening in Brazil, and this is happening in London, and that's happening in Germany. And the more we do that, the more people will change their worldview. That's my little preach.
I agree
that's so good though, like Timo, for real, bro. Like that's really real stuff.
I think it's very empowering as well.
Yeah. So that's what we're all trying to do, is change the story we think we're in. And it's much more exciting. That's the point. It gets me passionate. I can see everyone we meet every week is passionate about what they do, and that's literally what will change the world.
Yeah, because we can like that's what Unsee the Future is so awesome. Like we can, create the world we want to live in, right? Like
yes,
we can,
literally,
basically.
From Adam Curtis's, he's a documentary maker, made an epic 6-piece thing over here in Britain that's really hard viewing, and an amazing piece together of the way the world is and why. Very cultural. And he essentially says we can change, the world is just made because we thought it should be this way. We can actually change it. So that's
we literally can.
We're all about
so
that.
crazy.
Now, AY, you are changing the world partly through music as well as all the other stuff. Are you going to share some music with us tonight? Maybe. I mean, the nearest thing we've got to a cue for this is
our. Where was that? Can you ask me that question again and hit it?
Yeah. I thought I was going to hit it. You look like I was going to hit it. I'm just filling time trying to find it. But where is it?
How the local decider's going to talk crap about us, probably, bro. Like,
you probably will.
That's really not even relevant.
Or he does not like when I perform, bro. Like at all. Are we? Timo!
Is that it? Here it is. Are you going to? Oh no, we. Mate, sorry I'm such a bleeding amateur. And there he is in the pose, ladies and gentlemen. He's on the starting blocks. He's posed like a superstar. He's doing something with his hips that like only superstars can. I'm giving the mic to Mr. A.Y. Young, doing the pose, about to rock the house. A.Y. Young, please take it away.
Timo was the best introduction guy on the planet. Oh shit, I should do this like Saturday Night Live. Yeah, Saturday, GG Show Live. It's your boy AY performing Save the Planet. Got me high. That's not the song. Oh, this is not working out right now. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so AY's just doing some housekeeping.
Okay. There we go, Timo.
And now we're on.
Okay.
You're listening to the Global Girls Music Roadshow.
Say the planet. We gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Say the planet. We gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Ooh. Say the planet. We gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Yeah. Say the planet. Hey, we gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. They acting like we from another planet, Mars. They say climate change ain't a thing. What you talking about? What you know about that? What's your carbon offset? Yup, we just wanna act. We ain't sitting back. Solar power. Wind and solar power, everybody need the energy. Let's store it up and power the world. Recycle, we need more recycle. But you're acting like some followers on Instagram and Twitter. So tick tock to let the ball drop. The clock starts now. Plug in, they say the planet. So tick tock to let the ball drop. The clock starts now. Plug in. Global Goals Music Roadshow. We got Carla. Hello, honey. What's up, guys? Timo. Last word. Hey. Oh, it's so crazy. Say the planet. We gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Woo! Say the planet. We gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Hey. Say the planet. We gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Yeah. We gon' say the planet, everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Hey, say the planet. We gon' say the planet, everybody. Let's say the planet, God. Hey, don't forget about the ocean. Hey. The ocean is alive. Keep the plastic out. 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 Yeah. Say the planet. We gon' say the planet. Everybody looking at me like I'm from another planet. Yeah. Oh.
Yes.
Fun, man.
Yeah. The ocean is alive.
Are we all back?
We're all back, I think. Can you hear me, Mother? Yes. AY.
Now I can hear you.
Hooray. Bless you, man. Lovely. I love that tune. It gets me every time. We should all be singing along. Yeah, just to let everybody know, you can register to be on the show or to share things at ayyoung.com. Be part of the Battery Tour. Register your interest there, and you can be on the show if you've got a story that you want to tell. Yeah, indeed. It's been a nice, relaxed show tonight, isn't it?
It's been awesome, right?
Yeah. I
liked it a lot. Carla, you're so awesome. It's so great to meet you.
Oh, no, it's great to meet you too as well. Amazing. I'm looking forward to writing one of my first article about you and the Battery Tour. So
Yes.
Timo, last words, man. I'm kind of still here. Like no interruptions. Have you noticed that?
I was just thinking this is a bit weird. I was starting to want to wrap
got
up.
no phone calls, like at all.
That's quite weird. Yeah. What?
Is that my agent calling?
I mean, Timo was about to say something.
Yeah,
Yo,
no, that's
dude,
yes.
Timo. Well, I was just waiting on him to. We're almost at the end though. Like,
yeah. See, I thought maybe this week we could wrap it up together, and you know, you and me right out at the end,
right now?
say goodbye to Carla.
Yeah, Timo, I gotta go, bro. I actually gotta go right now. You gotta finish the show.
We were so close.
I
We lost.
Yeah. Well, so that's it. We nearly got to wrapping up the show together for the first time ever, and there we are. But look, Carla, thank you so much for joining us tonight and sharing the news stories of us. That's the phrase I keep using. You are trying to reflect them and share them, and the stories you're reflecting are reality. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm sorry if it just started raining really hard, but thank you so much for having me. And I'm really excited.
That's great.
Sorry?
And where can people find you?
They can find us at popnewsinfo in Instagram.
Great.
Popnewsinfo, and Twitter as well, popnewsinfo1.
Wonderful. I will look you up. I think I've seen you on the thread tonight, so we'll follow you. Great, and we'll stick that in the thread below if you're catching up on this later as well. We'll put it in there. Yeah. So, Carla, go on.
No, I was just gonna say, if anyone has like any interesting stories that they want us to cover, then also tell us, because we're always looking for things to cover.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time tonight. Look forward to checking in again. We'll put a pin in the Global Goals map in Costa Rica. Lovely to meet you tonight.
Thank you so much.
Now for now. See you soon. And so, you know, that's our show. What have we learned tonight? Well, we've learned that we're all in a story, and it's in our head. It's all in our head. And we can change that story. I might change key to this. Oh yeah, I just felt like it. That's our end of club night, going home music. So thanks for joining us tonight on the Global Goals Music Roadshow with Carla in Costa Rica, and of course goodbye to Miss Vogel's class and all the other classes, and we will hear from all the other battery teachers next week, I'm sure. And I'm just going to pull the ripcord now because I don't even know what chords I'm playing anymore. It's jazz. Now, it's just jazz. You join us on the jazz hour at the very end of the Global Goals Music Roadshow. Stop that. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Go out and change the world. Plug your passion in. We've been the Global Goals Music Roadshow. I'm Timo Peach. Catch me at momotempo.co.uk and sign up at ayyoung.com. Ciao for now.